Quincy Jones gave an interview to Vulture magazine where he covers a lot. The guy's 85 years old and he officially does not give one F. And he covers Ivanka Trump, how he used to date her, Michael Jackson, and how he stole music. We'll get into a bunch. He knows who killed Kennedy. He talks about Elon Musk, the Beatles, how he feels about the Beatles, and Donald Trump also. I mean, he gets into a lot. We all read the interview. First, thoughts, 5 words or less.
It was quintessentially Quincy.
Please never stop talking.
Who's bad? Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Quincy owns everyone. I have all the quotes. So what do you want to talk about first? Like, what's your favorite bit? Richard Pryor. Okay, so Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor. He cusses a lot. So when I touch your foot, can you bleep it? Okay. Marlon Brando, he'd beep anything. He'd beep a mailbox. James Baldwin, Richard Pryor, Martin Gaye, and then the interviewer says, he slept with them, how do you know that? Then it says Quincy frowns, which is sad, and he goes, come on, man, he did not give a beep. And then the next line is, do you like Brazilian music?
Right, what's your sign? Pisces, so am I.
It's just all over the place. Yeah. So Marlon Brando would do it with anything, according to him.
Lucky world.
But Marlon Brando
was fine.
Yeah. Superman Marlon Brando? Yes.
Really?
Lucky world.
Jor-El.
Quincy, okay, so Quincy was a little reckless with this interview, but I was here for all of it, and here's why. Because Quincy's 85. They always say when you become of a certain age, you just, like Jane Fonda, you just don't care. And he was super transparent about Michael Jackson, who they are a fabled story in music. Quincy made Michael musically, right? So what better person to get an account of how Michael truly was than to go directly to the source? And I wasn't shocked by that. Him saying that Michael was Machiavellian. He was a savage, that he should have paid people for music that he didn't. Quincy talking about, the state of music now, how it's BS,
Right, I have some of that. So I guess I didn't fill in on, for people who don't know who Quincy Jones is, I understand.
Preach, come on.
Guys.
Just one thing he says is, to give you an idea of who Quincy Jones is, he said kind of his proudest moment in his career, which he is not modest at all in this whole interview. He's like, I was the best at everything I did is great. But he said one of the proudest moments in his career was he was signing albums, and a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter all came up from the same family and had different albums that were their favorite albums ever, and Quincy produced all of them. And he is just like the person. And he said that like Frank Sinatra legalized black people in certain parts of Vegas so that Quincy Jones could go to them.
Yeah.
It was like this very strange.
By saying that, listen, you don't want to be the white racist, do you? You don't want to live as a racist. We have to indoctrinate all black people. And also, one of the best Quincy Jones quotes from this was, what's the greatest innovation you've ever done? All of them.
All of them.
All of them. I mean, just drop every single mic on the planet, if you will.
Except for when he talked about the biggest mistake was that kind of remake album, and then he kind of hit it T-Pain, who tweeted about it later, and I was just like,
because like when Quincy Jones goes like, I don't like that person.
He did a bad job. He didn't listen.
He sounds like a teacher who's like, no one did their homework.
Yeah.
Or talking about the We Are the World with Cyndi Lauper.
We Are the World is a big, for people who don't know, it was like this big, everyone in music got together to sing We Are the World. It was a song, and it would like, everybody, like huge names get one line in it.
Yeah.
And Cyndi Lauper.
I love that he cleared up the rumor though. Like I heard the rockers didn't like it. No. It was Cyndi Lauper.
Crazy ass.
To make it very clear. It wasn't the rockers, it was her.
Quincy Jones, oh, go ahead, Brad.
Oh, go ahead, you say.
Quincy Jones discovered a lot of fantastic talent. There's an artist named Tamia who he discovered in Canada. It was on his album 95 Q Juke Joint, which won a Grammy after Grammy. Tevin Campbell, who was, you guys don't know who Tevin is, he was a young up-and-coming star that was featured on Graffiti Bridge with Prince, and then Q ushered his career. I mean, Quincy has been around for a long time, and Quincy is definitely, I think he's earned the right to be as like reckless, because let's keep it real. They asked him about Hillary Clinton. They asked him about his opinions on Trump and his relationship with Ivanka.
Right, so here's his Ivanka thing. He goes, I used to date Ivanka. She was a fine mother. Beep. She had the most beautiful legs I ever saw in my life. Wrong father though. And then he went on to say about Trump, he's a crazy mother,
Beep.
limited mentally, a megalomaniac, narcissistic, I can't stand him. Just throwing this stuff out.
Didn't Ivanka come out and say the story wasn't true?
No, yeah, that's what she did.
So what's interesting about that is that why would Quincy lie? Again, kind of coming back to like what Jason was saying at the top, he's 85 years old. There's no reason. He's not trying to gain anything. That's why I think this interview has gone so viral, is because everyone sort of understands that this is a guy with nothing to lose. Right. He doesn't need your respect. It's like it's been earned. He is a staple. He is a legend. He is an icon. Yeah, like he doesn't need any of this. So he's just going to tell the truth because he doesn't care. He doesn't care anymore. So Ivanka coming out and being like, the story's not true. I'm like, I think it's actually perhaps even more true than you want us to know. Like, I think it's pretty darn true.
They're like the boy who cried wolf at this point, though, because now nobody believes you.
Right, exactly.
At all.
They're going to bat for a wife beater right now.
If she hadn't come out, and said anything, then it probably like, oh, you might have been exaggerating. But her coming out and being like, the story is false. It's like, well, I think it's pretty true.
Also, there were things in the article that he, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There were things in the article though that he wouldn't comment on. I can't talk about that, but which I found kind of weird because here you are, like really just like look, this happened. It's super scandalous, but yeah, when they ask you about certain things, I can't comment on that. What's up with that? Very coherent.
Like he sidestepped that Bill Cosby talk. This is the second time he's done this because in the GQ interview, he slid right past that too. And it was like, no, I don't like Weinstein. Let me talk about him. I was looking for a tweet, somebody who was like, Quincy's like that old man at the barbershop who 80% of what he's saying is true, 20% is not, but it's all entertaining. Yeah. So you don't care. I think it was my friend Rick Smith who tweeted it, but I was like, yes, exactly how I feel.
Well, he tried to sidestep a lot of the political stuff, which I totally understood, but I wish that he would have spoken more about Bill Cosby and like, you know what I mean? That's not the thing you want to slither away.
Well, because I think, and I can only speculate that, if you the underlying message within the article when it comes to music and African Americans and race relations was just that about racism and how black men have been shown in a negative light in his life. I mean, he did not care 1 second about talking about hip hop. He's all hip hop's terrible. It hasn't been good because they're not listening. And he said something that I've been saying, and I thought I'm Quincy Jones, but about how music is the soundtrack of our lives. I said that here on Pop Trigger, and that.
Did he take that from you?
He may have. He stole it from me. Quincy, you're welcome. I want a check in the mail. Don't Michael Jackson me. But he's just so smart. They asked about Oprah. And even he was just like, listen, she shouldn't run for office. And they're like, him and Oprah are like this.
Yeah, but also they're like this, but the interviewer had to let him know that Oprah is obviously the CEO of a company.
Right, yeah.
It was a weird, like you guys are close, but it's named after her.
It's all over the place. He does say, they said, who's doing good work? After he says, what's the greatest musical innovation? He goes, everything I've done. Then he goes, they say, who's doing good work? He says, Bruno Mars, Chance the Rapper, Kendrick Lamar. He likes where Kendrick's mind is, he's grounded. Chance too. And the Ed Sheeran record is great. Sam Smith, he's so open about being gay, I love it.
Love it.
Mark Ronson is someone who knows how to produce. So like when he just kind of pulls his wallet out of his pocket of knowing things and just like names like that fall out, even like Chance and Kendrick are probably like, got it.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm on top of the world right now, but yes.
Right.
Can I tell you my favorite part of the interview? Because he was talking about Bono and how he kind of protects him against racism in Ireland and he lets him stay at his place. And then the guy goes, does U2 still make good music?
No.
He does that.
Read the parentheses, shakes head, and I like busted out laughing.
Right?
Because he's like, it's his friend, but he couldn't hold it in.
Yeah. He's everybody, and I think every 85-year-old experienced person in the world needs to do an interview like that.